So today I want to go over what is QuantAlertsAI, the advanced indicator that I built with two-dimensional smoothing. I use this same system. This indicator powers my institutional side trading, where I trade FX fully automated for institutional clients. We trade with one group a 16 instrument portfolio, 2 time frames per instrument, and for another group we trade 20 instrument portfolio. So a combination of some CFDs and predominance of FX pairs through Tier 1 liquidity providers. So I've taken that same system development knowledge. I also trade fully automated in futures prop accounts. So I've really expanded the capabilities and my knowledge of the system. In recent weeks, I've added another type of unique math to the indicator that takes it to another level. I've decided to incorporate that into what will be a very unique and special offering for those on the Thinkorswim platform, or for those, regardless of what broker you're at, you'll have the ability to take real-time signals optimized by my group, sending you real-time live alerts to a QuantAlerts AI phone app on your phone, and then you can go enter your trades wherever you want. You can enter your trades at E-Trade, at Interactive Brokers, Fidelity, Vanguard, or on your Thinkorswim platform or through your Schwab TD Ameritrade account. So let me go into what makes the QuantAlerts AI indicator different, what you're looking at, and why this is, I guess you could say, this is going to end up being the most advanced and the most precision-based market timing service ever available for the markets, period. Guys hand trading lines, looking at levels, that's all fine. This stuff will kick its ass. We are fully technical based, and the key that makes the difference is breakthroughs in the math and the way I program the indicators, and what's called two-dimensional smoothing. So we use a component or the guts of what looks like a smooth Heikin-Ashi, and it's just for a visual effect. We use that indicator with our math and our programming style, a multiple loop way of looking at price. We look at price, so that indicator I can adjust how responsive it is or is not to price. That's part of the indicator's adjustability. That's one axis of adjustability. So what looks like a Heikin-Ashi, we'll call it HA1 for Heikin-Ashi 1. HA1 is constantly reading price at whatever level of responsiveness we set it at. So that's one component of the QuantAlertsAI very advanced indicator. So that's reading price, and you can see it. It's going up and down as it reads price. Okay, here's where two-dimensional smoothing comes in. So this indicator reading price is one dimension of smoothing. So that's 1D. 2D smoothing is now we have a trend bias portion of the indicator. In uptrends, I have it kind of colored an aqua color. In downtrends, I kind of have it colored a Dodger blue color. You can set the coloring for whatever you want if you're running the indicator on your own charts. Or for most of you, you probably like, I don't need to run anything on my charts. I just want the best settings for the SPY, for NVIDIA, for Apple, for, Russell inverse, or 200% inverse of the Russell ETF, or in this case, the QQQ. So we don't care. Whatever you want to have tracked, we can get the best optimized settings. So you can go in and do position trading to swing trading with precision with real-time alerts to a phone app, and you never have to play around with the indicator on the chart on your end ever. So one-dimensional smoothing is the HA1, or what we'll call the Heikin-Ashi 1 reading price, with our math built into the visual appearance of what looks like a Heikin-Ashi smooth. Then the trend bias portion of the indicator, the solid line in either aqua colored or Dodger blue colored, that is our trend bias portion of the indicator, where we see when there's flips in momentum. So when we get a flip in momentum, from upside momentum to downside momentum. We get a signal on our end on the indicator, an audible alert. That is then tied to and spits out a live alert to a phone app that says, hey, we have a bear signal on the QQQ for this particular time frame. Might be a moderate swing timing time frame, might be a really, really high time frame, swing time frame. So there's going to be multiple alerts for all the core instruments. So you can then decide, hey, do I want to get into a trade that lasts 1 to 4 days? Do I want to get into trades that last for weeks or months? That's up to you. So the trend bias portion of the indicator reads HA1 bar closing price, not price directly. So that's the second dimension of smoothing. So let me clear off some of this drawing and we'll kind of make this a very important point. Heikin-Ashi 1 reads price. That's one dimension of smoothing. The trend bias portion of the indicator reads Heikin-Ashi number 1. We have unique math in this part of the indicator and definitely unique math in this part of the indicator, the trend bias portion. Where we get our alerts from is the flipping of upside momentum to downside momentum, from upside momentum to downside momentum to upside momentum, and so on. So not every signal is perfect. On some of the lower time frames, might have some scenarios where you're getting 4, 5, 6 really nice structural moves in the market in a row, getting nice hits, and then you might have a period for a couple days where there's chop, where we get flipped to the long side, where you get long, and then a day and a half later, we might say, oh, okay, that trade's over. Now work a short side trade, and that might be a loser. Now, you'll definitely have some excursion in your intended direction from the signal entry point, and when you see it chopping around for a few days, we'll show you how long you should stay in the trade before you might want to just blip it out and wait for a new signal or take off a portion. And then when a new signal is initiated, then you're off to the races. And then another new signal and you're off to the races, and so on. The nice thing is on the core instruments that I see the most active use of for tracking to get these signals sent to your phone real time, it might end up being 35 to 50 instruments. I might end up offering up to 3 time frames per instrument that are highly optimized, meaning we are very dialed in. So there might be one that's good for 1 to 2 day trades. There might be then one that's good for 2 to 4, 5 day long trades. And then we'll definitely have one that might be good for trades that last 4, 5, 6 days to maybe, weeks. Like we had some Japanese yen trades on the FX side. We were in trades for 3.5 months on the highest time frame. It just kept going and going and going in our intended direction. Another aspect to our system on some of the time frames, we have points where a person could add to the trade if they wanted to. So what do the hedge funds do? What do the institutions do? They grow, or they pyramid into the position as it moves in their intended direction. Their position size grows. So if you get into a trade and certain benchmarks of momentum and directional price action are being maintained, a person could add to their position. So that will be another component to the overall approach, showing you if you ever want to trade that way, that would be a dynamic position. Most of you will probably just take the entry, and when you get a counter, signal, you'll get out of the trade, or you hit a certain amount of profit distance from entry that we say, hey, this is about 80% of the time you can get this distance. This is 92% of the time you get this, and so on. So you can use that data then to affect where you want to get out of every signal when you're in the money, or at least tighten up stops. So it's a very dynamic capability in the indicator. The indicator is not some old SSL. It's not some super trend. It's none of the old school math or any of the old school indicators. This is very unique math mixed with some unique programming style and the blending in of the two-dimensional smoothing using unique math in several components to give us a very powerful indicator that has some capabilities. Number one, it can auto-adapt to rapid changes in volatility. That's huge. That's very big in a very big part of automated systems. You need to have that in your system. So that's important. And the other thing is the overall approach and the way that we use our indicator. It's really effective and has a lot of access of adjustability, where we have a very high probability of getting the indicator to dial in on a wide range of bar types and time frames. So we're not codependent on running the indicator on just a Renko or just a range bar or just a time-based chart or just a tick chart. We can run it on a wide base of bar types, because then that gives us overall what are the most optimized and best time frame and settings to use on the various instruments that we're tracking. So we don't just have to track time-based charts or range bar charts or tick charts. We'll optimize on all of those and get the best of the best and use those to power the real-time alerts. So we'll maintain all that, do all the heavy lifting on our side. You just subscribe, get the alerts, and utilize them per our training. What kind of profit should you expect depending on what time frame you're on? Are you on like a one-day trade time frame? Are you on a couple of day trade type time frame? Or are you on a time frame where you could be in the trade for weeks or months? So we'll show you how to use your signal most effectively to create the most profit potential. So QuantAlertsAI, the QuantAlertsAI website will be QuantAlerts.ai will be the website. We're going to launch it here in the next day or two. I just wanted to get some programming work done on the connectivity of the indicator to the app. That's wrapping up. That's not that hard to do. I wanted to get in a very extensive period of testing completed with the indicator on thinkorswim. I have that done, and we're going to have one heck of a service here. For those that want to use the indicator on their own charts, we'll have that availability. For those that want a combination of that with alerts, you'll have that. For those that just want the alerts, we'll have that. So it's going to be a very flexible service and a very unique capability like has never been out there before. And this is different from like using some squeeze indicator where you got to learn how to use it for a bunch of days, or using some software that just looks like some, two moving averages were put together and they call it AI and it's shaded in between. We're not doing any of that. We're using advanced tools that are used on institutional trading, from breakthroughs in math and programming styles, to get an indicator that's exceptional at ignoring a lot of the noise in the price action, unless that cyclical activity and noise in the price action has some direction to it. And if it does, then we can benchmark that and use that as alerts to get into structural moves of price, whether they're uptrend cycles, downtrend cycles, and so on. So there you have it, QuantAlerts.ai website. I'll probably turn that website on coming into this weekend, middle of September. Right now, just want to do some initial, put it out there, let people know what's on deck. And if you have any questions, you can send me an email to QuantAlertsAI at gmail.com for now. And let me go ahead, let me type that email out just so you have it. So there it is, QuantAlertsAI at gmail.com. And there's going to be a massive campaign of more information, more examples, more details about the service. We will allow in an initial beta group to come in and work with us and the product. We're only going to allow that for 10 active investors. And we're really going to ramp this product offering and service up. So by the end of the month, it'll be mind-boggling. Not only it will be obvious at how effective our system is and how amazing the service is, especially the live alerts, but how fantastic it is and how it defeats anything out there in the market timing realm. So QuantAlertsAI, it's going to be a big name in the industry. Follow us here. If you have any questions, let us know. QuantAlertsAI@gmail.com. Have a great day.